Right. So today we're going to do a deep dive on something I think is pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
It's the Santa Clarita Lost and Found.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. You know, like when you lose something important, it doesn't even have to be like your keys or your wallet or something like that, but like something that has real meaning to you.
Right.
So we're going to unpack how an entire community is kind of tackling that feeling and like that fear head on with this really awesome initiative they've got going.
That sounds interesting. So, like, what is it exactly?
So basically, it's kind of like this really cool, like community-driven way to use the power of social media to like connect people over lost items.
Okay.
And we've got their blog post right here, and it's full of like really cool stories and real-life examples.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting.
Cool. So how does it actually work?
So,
Yeah.
I was wondering the same thing. Is there like some super secret algorithm or something?
No, not really a secret algorithm, but it's definitely some savvy social media skills.
Okay.
It's pretty simple, actually. Okay. They have a Facebook page. Okay. It's facebook.com/Santa Clarita All Stand Found.
Gotcha.
And an Instagram,
All
which
right.
is instagram.com/Santa Clarita the Stand Found.
Okay.
So think of it as like
Sound good.
a digital bulletin board where people can post about lost or found items.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But like, you know,
Mhm.
Santa Clarita is known for being a pretty close-knit community,
Right.
like even without the internet.
Right.
So why do they even need a dedicated lost and found service?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd think that strong community spirit would just naturally take care of things, right?
Exactly.
But even in a place where everyone like knows each other and there's a lot of community events,
Right.
it's still a growing city.
Right.
People have really busy lives, and so things just slip through the cracks.
Yeah, it's so easy to like misplace things, even in places, you know, really well.
Exactly. And that's what the blog post kind of talks about a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have a whole section on like lost and found hotspots.
Oh, that's interesting. Like what?
Like Central Park, Valencia Town, Center Canyon, Country Park.
Oh, okay. So like high traffic areas.
Exactly. Like more stuff to lose.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But also think about it.
Yeah.
These are places where you're often distracted.
Right.
Like at the park, you're focused on your kids. At the mall, you're
I
shopping.
don't care about.
Exactly. Your phone's in your pocket
Yeah.
or your wallet's in your purse.
Totally.
And then you sit down in a restaurant, you're chatting with your friends, you know, catching up.
Right.
And it's really easy for something to slip your mind when your attention is elsewhere.
That's true.
Yeah.
That makes total sense.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's say I am in Santa Clarita
Okay.
and I lost something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's my lucky hat, let's just say.
Okay.
What's the first thing I should do?
Okay, so first, don't panic.
Okay.
And then act fast.
Okay.
The sooner you get the word out there, the better.
Right.
So go to those Santa Clarita Lost and Found pages that we talked about,
Okay.
Facebook and Instagram both.
Got it.
And you're going to want to post a detailed description of
Okay.
your hat.
Of my hat.
Yeah, and be specific.
Okay.
What kind of hat is it?
Okay.
Where did you last see it?
Mm-hmm.
Does it have any unique features? Anything that would help someone identify it?
Okay, got it. So picture's worth 1,000 words, right?
Exactly.
So should I include a photo of my hat too?
Absolutely, photos are key.
Okay.
And here's where it gets a little more technical.
Okay.
Don't forget hashtags.
Okay.
Things like hashtag Santa Clarita Lost and Found, hashtag Lost and Found SCV.
Okay.
These help to categorize your post and make it easier for people to find.
Right, so it's like giving it a boost.
Exact. It's like a little boost in the social media world.
I got you. So tagging them directly makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But like, wouldn't those pages get bombarded with notifications?
Right?
Like, how do I make sure my post actually gets seen by like the people running it?
That's where strategy comes in.
Okay.
So think about how social media algorithms work. They prioritize posts that get a lot of engagement.
Right.
So
Okay.
in addition to tagging them,
Yeah.
encourage your friends and family to share it, to comment on it, to like it.
Gotcha.
The more activity it generates, the more likely it is to pop up on their radar.
Okay. That's really clever.
Yeah.
It's like a community-powered search party.
Exactly.
Okay, so we covered losing something.
Okay.
What if I found something that doesn't belong to me?
First of all, kudos to you for wanting to do the right thing.
Thanks.
So the process is really similar. You want to post about it on those platforms, give all the details, like
Yeah.
what you found, where you found it, and when you found it. And again, a picture is super helpful.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't just hand it over to like anyone who claims it's theirs, right?
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
The blog really emphasizes safety, and for good reason.
Right.
So ask the person to describe the item in detail or provide some kind of proof of ownership.
Okay.
It's all about protecting yourself and making sure the item gets back to the rightful owner.
Makes sense now.
Yeah.
I know you have some pretty incredible stories about things that have been reunited through this service.
Oh, yeah.
So let's hear it.
Okay, so get this. A woman was hiking in Plaza Rita Canyon,
Oh, heck.
and she gets back to her car and realizes something is terribly wrong.
Oh, no.
She left her prosthetic leg behind.
Oh, my gosh. That's got to be like a nightmare scenario.
Right, and not just any lost item. It's like vital to her everyday life.
Right. So is she able to like go back and search for it?
Well, it was getting dark, so going back right then wasn't really an option.
Okay.
But luckily, she remembered the Santa Clarita Lost and Found.
Oh, okay.
So she posted about it. She put a detailed description of where she had last seen it and everything.
Wow. Okay. And did anyone find it?
So another hiker had seen her post,
Okay.
recognized the location, and went back the next day and found it.
Wow.
Yeah, and they met up at a coffee shop.
Oh,
And she was reunited with her leg thanks to that online connection.
that is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm already seeing how vital this service is, but I'm guessing not every lost item is a prosthetic leg.
Right.
What are some other things that they've helped to reunite?
Oh, you'd be surprised at the variety.
Really?
Everything from wallets and keys to pets.
Yeah.
And even dentures.
Dentures. Okay. I have to hear that story.
So picture this family picnic at Central Park.
Okay.
This man's enjoying a beautiful day with his loved ones.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he realizes his dentures are missing.
Oh, no. I can only imagine the panic.
Right? He searched everywhere, but no luck.
Oh, no.
But his daughter convinced him to post about it on the Santa Clarita Lost and Found page.
Oh, that's sweet.
Even though he was a little embarrassed.
I bet.
Right? Like not something you want to broadcast to the world.
Right.
But guess what?
Wow.
A young boy playing in the park with his dog stumbled upon those dentures.
Oh, my God.
His parents had seen the post and immediately knew who they belonged to.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
A denture reunion.
A denture reunion.
That's hilarious.
Thanks to the power of social media and an observant kid.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, these stories are incredible.
Right.
I'm sensing a theme here.
What's that?
It's not just about finding things. It's about the community coming together to help each other out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the Santa Clarita Lost and Found so special. It's a testament to the kindness, the compassion, and just the willingness to go the extra mile that exists in this community.
I love that this is so much more than a lost and found service.
Yeah.
It's like a heartwarming window into the heart of a community.
It really is. And we've only just scratched the surface.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's
Right.
so much more to uncover, from like heartwarming pet reunions to tales of lost family heirlooms,
Oh, wow.
and even the challenges that they've faced along the way.
Okay, I am officially hooked. Let's keep digging.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so you mentioned some challenges that the Santa Clarita Lost and Found has faced.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff are we talking about here?
Well, like any online platform that involves, personal interaction, safety is a big one.
Of course. Yeah, that makes sense.
The blog mentions a few instances of scams and like dishonest people trying to take advantage of people's desperation to find their lost items.
Oh, gosh, that's awful.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's
Right.
something they're very aware of.
So what are they doing to address that?
Well, they're very proactive about it.
Okay.
The blog has like a whole section on safety tips,
Okay.
emphasizing things like meeting in public places,
Yeah.
verifying ownership before handing over any items, and really just trusting your instincts.
Okay.
Like if something feels off, it probably is.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Right.
Public meeting places sounds like a good idea. But what if the lost item is like something large or difficult to transport?
Right.
What do they suggest for those cases?
They really encourage people to use common sense and be creative.
Okay.
Like maybe meet at the location where the item was found if it's safe to do so.
Right.
Or have the finder like safely secure the item until a more convenient meeting can be arranged.
So it's really about like adapting to each unique situation and just prioritizing safety above all else.
Exactly.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah. And they also stress the importance of protecting your personal information.
Right.
No need to blast your home address or your phone number all over social media.
Right.
A simple description of the general area where the item was lost or found is usually enough.
Okay. Oh, those are all great points.
Yeah.
Besides safety concerns, what other challenges do they mention?
Sometimes they run into issues with lost items not being claimed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
It could be that the owner has given up hope.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
they aren't aware of the service.
Right.
Or they're simply not active on social media.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
What happens to those items then?
Well, they have a process for that too.
Okay.
They make every effort to find the owner.
Right.
But if all else fails, they donate the items to local charities.
Oh, that's nice. At least it's going to a good cause.
Exactly.
It seems like they've really thought of everything.
They really have.
All these stories are really heartwarming,
Mm-hmm.
but it makes me wonder, has the service had any impact beyond just reuniting people with stuff?
Absolutely.
Like,
Well, the Santa Clarita Lost and Found has actually become a bit of a phenomenon.
really?
Yeah, it's inspired similar initiatives in other communities,
Oh,
and it's even sparked conversations about the power of social media for good.
so it's spreading beyond just Santa Clarita.
It is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, people are realizing that this simple concept can have a ripple effect.
That's so cool.
It's about fostering a sense of community, encouraging people to help each other out,
Yeah.
and proving that kindness can be contagious.
I love that it's like a little spark of positivity
Yeah.
spreading throughout the world.
Mhm.
So what about the impact on Santa Clarita itself?
Yeah.
Has it changed the way people interact with each other?
Definitely, the blog mentions a few ways the service has affected the community.
Okay, like what?
People are more aware of their surroundings.
Oh, okay.
They're more likely to help out if they see someone in need,
Mm-hmm.
and they're more connected to their neighbors.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's almost like the service has created a culture of paying it forward, of like looking out for one another.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful example of how a simple act of kindness,
Yeah.
like returning a lost wallet or reuniting a child with their favorite toy, can have a ripple effect throughout a community.
Okay, I'm convinced.
Yeah.
This is more than just a lost and found service.
Right.
It's like a community building, hope restoring, kindness spreading machine.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
It's awesome.
It's proof that even in a digital age where it can feel like we're constantly bombarded with negativity,
Right.
there's still a deep-seated desire for connection and a willingness to help one another.
It's really inspiring.
Yeah.
But, as we've been talking about this, I've been thinking about the times I've lost, things that weren't just objects.
Oh, yeah.
Things like motivation, creativity, or that feeling of being on the right track.
That's a really interesting parallel.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if those intangible lost and founds could benefit from the same kind of community support.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine a platform where people could post about feeling lost creatively,
Yeah.
and others could offer advice or support or even just a listening ear.
It's a fascinating idea, right?
Yeah.
Harnessing the power of community to help each other navigate those internal lost and founds.
Right.
Maybe that's something the Santa Clarita Lost and Found could explore expanding into.
I love that.
Yeah.
After all, a community that helps each other find their lost keys can surely help each other find their lost dreams, right?
Absolutely. It all comes back to that human connection, that willingness to lend a hand and offer support.
That's what it's all about.
And you know what else is fascinating about this service?
What's that?
It's entirely volunteer run. There's no big organization behind it, no fancy funding.
Right.
It's just people in the community passionate about making a difference, dedicating their time and energy to helping others.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
They're not doing it for money or recognition. They're doing it out of the goodness of their hearts.
Exactly.
That speaks volumes about the spirit of this community.
It really does. It reminds me of something I read in the blog.
Okay.
They were talking about the impact the service has had on the volunteers themselves.
Oh, I'm curious to hear about that. What did they say?
They talked about how it's given them a renewed sense of purpose,
Okay.
a feeling of belonging, and a deeper appreciation for the power of human connection.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like a win-win situation.
Right.
The community benefits from the service,
Yeah.
and the volunteers find fulfillment in giving back.
Exactly. It's a reminder that helping others often ends up being the most rewarding experience of all.
So if someone's listening to this and they're feeling inspired to get more involved in their community, what advice would you give them?
I'd say start by looking around your own neighborhood.
Okay.
What are the needs? What are the challenges? What are the things that make your community unique?
That's a great starting point.
Yeah.
Once you have a better understanding of your community, it's easier to find ways to contribute.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to think outside the box.
Mhm.
You don't have to follow a pre-existing model.
Right.
Be creative, be resourceful, and tap into your own passions and skills.
And don't underestimate the power of small actions.
Yes.
Even something as simple as picking up trash in your neighborhood or volunteering at a local food bank can make a difference.
You're absolutely right. It's those everyday acts of kindness that create a ripple effect and inspire others to do the same.
Okay, I'm feeling motivated.
Awesome.
But before we move on, I have one more question.
Okay.
I know we've talked about a lot of heartwarming stories,
Hmm.
but I'm curious, what are some of the more unusual or quirky items that have been reunited through this service?
Oh, you're in for a treat. We've got tales of lost dentures, a prosthetic leg left behind on a hiking trail, and even a collection of antique thimbles that took an unexpected journey across state lines.
Wait, hold on. Dentures, a prosthetic leg, antique thimbles traveling across state lines.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to tell me more. Okay, you got to tell me more. Start with the dentures. How on earth do you lose your dentures?
Well, in this case, it happened at a family picnic at Central Park. Imagine enjoying a beautiful day with your loved ones, and suddenly you realize your dentures have gone missing.
Oh no, that's got to be a nightmare.
It was a frantic search, but no luck.
Oh no.
Thankfully, the man's daughter remembered the Santa Clarita lost and found.
Okay.
So they posted about it, and amazingly, a young boy playing in the park with his dog had stumbled upon those very dentures.
Oh wow.
His parents had seen the posts and immediately knew who they belonged to.
No way.
Yeah, and voila, a happy denture reunion.
That's amazing and hilarious at the same time.
It really is.
Okay, now I need to hear about the prosthetic leg. How do you even begin to search for something like that?
Right. It sounds almost impossible.
Yeah.
In this case, this woman was hiking in Placerita Canyon,
Okay.
and it wasn't until she got back to her car that she realized her prosthetic leg was missing.
Oh my gosh, so she must have felt stranded.
Yeah, it was getting dark, so going back to search wasn't an option at that point.
Right.
But luckily she remembered the Santa Clarita lost and found.
Okay.
So she posted about it, detailed description of where she had last seen it.
I'm on the edge of my seat here. Did anyone find it?
You'd be surprised another hiker who had seen her post recognized the location from her description and went back to search the next day.
Wow.
And amazingly, they found it.
Wow.
Yeah, and they connected with the woman, made up, and she was reunited with her leg.
That's incredible. It makes you think maybe there's hope for humanity after all.
I know, right?
Okay, now for the antique thimbles.
All right, so this one involves a bit of a mystery and a cross-country journey.
Ooh. Okay, I'm intrigued.
So this elderly woman had inherited a collection of antique thimbles from her grandmother,
Okay.
and they were very valuable, both sentimentally and monetarily.
Oh, those sound irreplaceable.
Yeah, so she was packing for a trip, and she accidentally left the box of thimbles at a local shipping store.
Oh.
And when she realized what she'd done, she panicked.
Yeah, I bet.
She went back to the store, but the thimbles were gone.
Oh, no.
Thankfully, her granddaughter reminded her about the Santa Clarita lost and found.
Oh, good.
So they posted about it, described the thimbles, and, really emphasized their significance.
Okay.
And a few days later, they got a message from a woman in another state.
Wait, another state? How did those thimbles travel that far?
Turns out the box had been accidentally shipped to that woman's address.
What are the odds?
I know, right?
Wow.
So she saw the post on the Santa Clarita Lost and Found page and realized she had the missing thimbles.
That is an incredible coincidence.
It really is.
So did the thimbles make it back to their rightful owner?
They did. They arranged to have the thimbles shipped back to Santa Clarita, and they arrived safe and sound.
Oh, I love that.
Happy ending.
Wow, these stories are amazing.
They are.
I mean, dentures, a prosthetic leg, antique thimbles traveling across state lines. You can't make this stuff up.
It really does sound like something out of a movie.
It does.
But, it highlights something really important. No matter how unusual or seemingly insignificant a lost item might be, it can hold immense value to its owner.
That's so true. And the Santa Clarita Lost and Found proves that a community coming together can achieve incredible things, even reuniting people with things they thought were gone forever.
Yeah, it's a beautiful reminder that even in a world that can often feel divided, there's still a lot of kindness and compassion and just a willingness to help one another out there.
Well said. I think we've thoroughly explored the ins and outs of the Santa Clarita Lost and found we learned how it works, the heartwarming stories, even the challenges they face.
It's been a fascinating deep dive. I'm really impressed by this initiative and the positive impact it's having.
Me too. But before we sign off, I want to leave our listener with a final thought.
Okay.
We've talked about the incredible things this community has accomplished.
Yeah.
But it all started with a simple idea and a few dedicated individuals who believed they could make a difference.
Such an important point. You don't need a huge organization or a ton of resources to create positive change.
Right.
It starts with a spark of inspiration, a willingness to act, and a belief in the power of community.
Absolutely. So to everyone listening, remember that you have the power to be that spark in your own community. What's something you're passionate about? What change do you want to see in the world?
Yeah.
Take that first step.
Hmm.
Reach out to others and see what incredible things you can accomplish together.
Beautifully said. And who knows, maybe your idea will be the next Santa Clarita lost and found, inspiring others and making the world a little bit brighter, one lost and found at a time.
That's a wrap on this deep dive. Thanks for joining us on this heartwarming journey of Lost and Found.
Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.